We have Ms. T. Mai Hua Do, Operation Manager at the Foundation for International Development and Relief, FIDR, in Vietnam. She has more than 7 years of experience working with people of ethnic minorities in central Vietnam. She specializes in rural development and is responsible for overall operations in a series of FIDR rural development programs and holds an MA in Economic Management and Rural Community Development. Ms. Do's presentation today is titled Lessons Learned from Working with Cotu Ethnic Minority for Preserving Traditional Intangible Culture. So without further ado, let me hand time over to Ms. Do to deliver her presentation. Ms. Do, please.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. John. Let I share my PowerPoint. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, let I opportunity for my team to share with you our lesson learned from working with Cotu Ethnic Minority for preserving traditional intangible cultures. So let I introduce a little bit my organizations. We are Japanese-based ICHCAP established in 1990s, and we have the totally so far 4 country office in Cambodia, Nepal, Vietnam, and headquarters in Japan. And our majors is mainly focused in 2 sectors. One is community development, and the second is on the emergency relief. So our office so far in Vietnam. As you may know, Vietnam is a long country from the north to the south, and we are based in the Da Nang city, the center of Vietnam. And you know, our project size mainly focused in the central, it's in Quảng Nam province. So this area is very unique because most of the people here is ethnic minorities, and the population up here account for around 90% of the ethnic groups. So it's very special areas. And how we can involve on the generation, especially for the youth, inside the preserving intangible skills. So let I introduce with you who are they, who are Cotu people. Yes, the Cotu people there, they have a nickname very interesting. They call them is the people of the forest because mainly their life still stay living from the forest, have still living from the planting. So they have the semi-self-sufficient life and have very, very unique and interesting traditional cultures like their dancing, their cuisine, their handicraft, including weaving and greetings. So let us share with you how we involve them in our program to protect and preserve their intangible cultures. Totally, we have around 3 stages to involve them in this process. The first stage, we try to do the preserve and develop the traditional weaving from almost 15 years ago. Yes, and the second one, after to let them learn more about the skill of the weaving, we try to link them with the community-based tourism as the second phase. You know, at that time, the visitors start to visit these areas and they recognize, oh, this unique culture is very beautiful, and they want to learn more. So with the first wheel as the traditional weaving preservation and the second wheel of the stage 2, community-based tourism, we try to handle this one and combine this one to make it become phase 3, how to do the comprehensive social development. From that, they can make the intangible cultures become the tangible things so that all communities will be happy each other. Yes, and talking a little bit about the youth, we all know that the youth characteristically, they are very eager to learn new things like Mr. Mojasi said, and the youth also, yes, first think about economy. Maybe it's very popular all over the world. All people think that it's better to put economy to involve the youth in the intangible preserving culture. However, with us, if only economy is not enough. Why I say like that? Because to earn money, maybe the youth easy to find another sector more simple and more easy rather than preserving the intangible culture, right? However, we consider a lot and we decide to put a lot of device to involve the youth. We call this like attractive food to collect the youth come inside our chat, something like that. That is what, besides the economy, sure, we need to create the income benefits for the youth. We also let them how to apply the SNS, because now we are living in the technology time, right? So it's very easy for them to apply SNS in their preserving work. Or besides that, because the youth, they sometimes they not recognize their own value from their cultures. So how to let them recognize this one? By receive the appreciation from the outsiders, so that we link them with the community-based tourism. And step by step, when they receive the wow, it's very beautiful, your culture is very nice, from that one, they step to recognize their real value in the intangible cultures. And even with the apply the modern technology, yes, one of the characteristics of the youth is they want to make relationship, they want to have the new friends. So if we can create the encounters, like we can connect them with the outsider and make them have more happy and feel enjoyable when work with the group members, they will feel more happy and continue to involve to this preserving intangible cultures. And when we can diversity the attractive food for the youth, sure, we can do well their role in this preserving intangible cultures. Why is it like that? Because some basic work related with the marketing or finance or even IT literacies, just only youth can do and can have the stand to adapt well rather than other generation in community. Is right? And in any community, yes, we divide them, we categorize them by 3 levels. That's either youth generation, that's either middle generation, and seniors. So if only youth, is it okay for them to continue preserving their intangible cultures? It may not be enough condition. Why is it like that? Because when the youth in charge of the marketing or doing some kind of accounting or IT literacy for their preserving skills, they need the model. They need the middle generation to be the bridge between youth and senior to connect them each other. And the middle generation, they have enough justice from their community because their life experience now. So with their negotiation skills, leaderships, they can easy to manage the groups and how can hand over with the youth and the seniors. From that, the youth can easy to imagine the role and can learn more from the middle generation. And for the seniors, what is their role in community and in intangible preserving cultures? Yes, only them can sum up their wisdom and skills, and only them can solve how to guide the next generation their skill, because only seniors can recognize their treasure, can recognize their real value rather than the youth people. So, okay, how we can make the stage for the youth can dancing on that? So seniors and middle generation can be the good space to let the youth be shy and be more attractive in the preserving of the intangible cultures. That's our message, how we can let them more feel the role and their important identity in their communities. How easy to let them involve in this work. Yeah, and with our experience in doing community development, in order to have the good community, it's necessary to have the 3 key factors. This is involvement, this is connection, and this is social cohesion. Why? Because when we can involve all the generation, especially for the youth inside of the community development and intangible heritage protection, so we can connect on the youth with women, or even youth with other people in the society. From that, they can make very strong communities and they can show up how much their communities is strong and how much they can preserve their traditional cultures. And not only of that, for involve more and more youth can call the interest, the experiment to the youth. It's considered to put 3 more factors that is very important for the youth based on their characteristics. First one, how to let the intangible to tangibles. It means how we can make the visualization. Why is it like that? For example, weaving skill is intangible skill, right? And if we can make the weaving skill become the weaving goods, like for example, like this product, yes, it's very visual and easy to let the youth and also the outsider recognize and understand the value of the intangible cultures. From that, they are easy to have the direction, how they can involve and how they can preserve their intangible cultures. And the second one, when we talk about youth, we always think about the future, right? And without clear career path, it's very hard to let them estimate their life. So it's better create the clear career path, I can say procedure for futures, so that the youth easy to estimate and invest their value. And the third one, the youth often have the idols, right? So if we can create some kind of the assistant of the role models in the community, I want to be that lady, I want to be that man, so that it's very easy for them to have the model to follow and have more motivation and encouragement to involve in this intangible skill. And from that, the youth will feel more safety. When I say safety, because they are maybe no need to go out their community anymore. They can stay inside the village, but they can introduce and preserve the intangible skill, and also can feel more pride because receive a lot of the high appreciation from outsiders through the CBT motto. And from that, they have the hopes. They have the hopes for the bright futures. So that's all very easy to recognize and sharing the value among the society. So I hope that this kind of the very safety, pride, and hope we can create for the youth. From that, they can involve more and more in preserving intangible cultures. And it's not only one time or two times that we involve the youth, right? We want to keep it continuously, the involvement of the youth. So how we can do? Yes, we can diversify the event. For example, today's symposium is very important because we involve a lot of the youth come inside. Because if only the senior talk together, it may not maximize the means of the workshop, right? But when the youth come inside, they can recognize, how much important the role is. So from that, they have more motivation to, I need to make action, something like that. And through some kind of the tourism activities, or the trying to make the restaurant or shops, so the youth easy to recognize and listen the appreciation from the outsider, from the customer. From that, they know what is good and what is they need to improve more for their intangible skill and for their culture preservations. Yeah. And besides that, we can think how to make the new products from the intangible to tangibles. So let them create more and more. Yes, try to put many new products for them, and then they're happy when they can introduce something to the new world. Next, maybe some of you may know, we have some kind of international fashion show to show up the intangible weaving clothes, something like that. So they very happy to show in this kind of event. From that, we can make the solidarity for the whole communities, so that the youth can continue to keep the motivation for expand their actions in preserving the intangible skills. Yeah, and then I show you how the two people they involve in our project and how they want to contribute to do the preservation. I'm very happy in enjoyables. Even through the CBT tourism, when the outsider come, they can do the very good interaction with the outsider, and they're happy when receiving and sell up their intangible cultures to the outsiders. Or even when we organize some kind of event in another cities, they can go out of their village and observe the world outside, and they can have the communication with outsider, can make a link. They're very happy about that. And especially under the COVID time, yes, kind of have the direct interaction, right? So the Cotu youth people, they have the one of very great idea that they establish, set up one kind of the online tour. Yes, they don't want to stop the connection between them and the outsiders. So they try to apply the modern technique to do the online tour for introduce their intangible culture to all over the world. And with trial with restaurant shops, sure, this is very clear sample to show up the intangible become tangible goods. So from that on, people happy together and can share the culture each other through their cuisine style, through their traditional weaving, etc. Yeah. And yes, you can see their SNS information they are developed. So this one is one of the very evident that the Cotu youth people, they are involved and continue to support for the seniors and middle how to keep preserving the intangible cultures. It's very nice. And as I say, one of the great ideas for Cotu online tours so far, they already developed two kinds of the tours. One is Cotu Life Experience Tour, and one is the weaving handicraft experience. So if you want to see how the youth in this village, they are activate and they doing the preservation their intangible cultures, please come and join with us through this email. Yes, and finally, I would like to say thank you to the Cotu people, to our FIDR team for their great efforts during last 15 years, because you can see in this picture, we can feel the very bright future, the happiness among them, even the seniors, the middle generation, the youth, and even for the kids. So all happy together to show up their preservation, show up their intangible cultures, and always welcome the new friends to their village. So thank you so much for your listening. I'm very happy if this motto can be applied for some kind of areas at the same characteristic with the Cotu people. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Crystal.